Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. And I'm doing this video right now to talk about my experience at RepFest, which was the Avon National Convention that took place at the beginning of August in New Orleans, Louisiana. I know you know I went because I've talked about it on this channel before. So I thought I would just give you my thoughts and opinions and let you know about my experience and, you know, what all about RepFest and what it was. So this is going to be a talking video. So if you're not into talking videos, then tune out. There's not going to be any swatches or products or anything like that. Although I will show you the lipstick that I have on right now is the new Mattitude lipstick from Avon in the shade Persistent. I was wearing Devoted earlier, which is this one, but I just did a swatch video and I wanted to demonstrate the application, so I chose this one. And so this one is Persistent, sorry, but Devoted is definitely my favorite, and these will be available starting next week on my e-store at the intro price of $8.99. All right, so yeah, I'm going to talk about RepFest. And if you are a rep and you went to RepFest, please know that I understand that your experience may be different than mine, and that is 100% entirely okay. We all take different things away. We have different opinions and experiences, and it's okay if your opinion is different from mine, just like I know it's okay that my opinion might be different from yours. And if you did not attend RepFest, know that next year is going to be in Austin, and they are changing it to being called Avon Con instead of RepFest, and it's supposed to be an entirely different type of experience. So a little bit intrigued by that. I have not registered to go to that yet, although a lot of other Avon reps registered right away while we were at RepFest for next year. So RepFest began on Thursday night. I think it would have been, I don't even know my dates. Was it August 1st? I'm not sure. And early registration started at 6 p.m. We left for New Orleans from Detroit early in the morning at 7:30 a.m. Is when our flight was leaving, and I did share a flight and a room with my friend Jill, who is an Avon representative, and she has been in Avon for a long time, and she is full of information and a wonderful person. She knows so much stuff, and she is like my go-to. She is not my upline, but if I had an upline, I wish it would be her, because she is so inspiring and motivating, and she knows her Avon. But we left here at 7:30 in the morning. Our flight did. I was super sad to leave Keith, and he told me later on that because he drove me to the airport, and he actually walked me up to basically where I was going to check my bags. So he was, you know, he came into the terminal with me. He didn't just drop me at the curb or anything. And he told me after he walked away, he said, when I walked out of that airport, he said, I had such a wave of separation anxiety. He said it was pitiful. He said he just got overwhelmed with sadness. And I'm like, oh, that's how I felt too. We're never apart like this. You know what I mean? I stay at my mom's for a few days in a row, but it's only an hour away. So we've never been a big distance apart from each other. So this was a new experience for us. But we flew to Atlanta. We had to change planes. We had like 40 minutes, I think, 30 minutes to change planes, and we had to go from one concourse to another. We did not have that much time, and we had to pee. We met some other people that were in the row behind us on the plane, and they were also on their way to RepFest. Actually, there was a lot of reps on all the airplanes that we were on. But it was really an experience to haul butt across that airport and have time to go pee really quick and then get to our gate, and they were boarding right when we got there. So we got there just in the nick of time, and then we arrived in New Orleans, and they were taking an Uber. The girls that were behind us with their mother, who was the representative, they were taking an Uber, and we took a Lyft to the hotel. And I have never taken a Lyft before, and it was a great experience. We used Lyft the entire time we were there, and I have to tell you, it was wonderful. All of our drivers were friendly and pleasant and polite and helpful, and they were just wonderful drivers, and that was a really good experience. So, but the driver that picked us up from the airport was in particular a very nice man, and his name was Merlin, and he ended up taking us also back to the airport when we left, because he was so nice. We said, can we have your number, and we'll call you when we're ready to go if you're available to take us. And he said absolutely. So we did that. So we got to our hotel and we checked in, and it was early, like I think we checked in around noonish, and we had decided the convention center was right across the street from our hotel. We stayed at the Marriott Convention Center. I mean, literally right across the street. So it wasn't any distance at all to walk to the convention center. But early registration didn't begin until 6 p.m. But the Riverwalk Outlet Mall and food court and everything was also right there. So we decided to, we got up to the room, put our clothes away, and we decided to go over, well, I called Keith to let him know I was alive. And then we went over to the Riverwalk to eat some lunch. And right off the bat, on the way out of the hotel, we ran into Lori Ann Goldman, who is or was at that time the CEO. Hold on, I'll get my tablet and I'll look up some pictures while I'm talking to you guys. So it's right here, because I don't have it on the computer or anything, but I can pull it up on my Facebook and show it to you that way. So yeah, we had met Lori Ann Goldman, and she was coming around the corner, and so she stopped and had a picture with us, and I thought that was really, really nice. So yeah, that was good. And then we went over to the Riverwalk outlet, and we went to have lunch. I don't even remember what we had for lunch. What did I have for lunch? I don't even remember now. It must have not been all that great. But what did I have? I didn't have salad. Oh, pizza. I got a slice of pizza. And so anyways, while we were walking around the mall trying to kill time before we went over to the convention center to register, and we ran into some other reps we know and her husband, one of their husbands, and we hung out with them, and then we went over to the convention center to register. And registration was kind of neat because I have never been, so like I said, I didn't really know what the situation was and how to do it. I'm sorry, I'm looking down because I'm looking for that picture really quick. It's got to be on here. I don't want to take forever. So we went ahead and we registered, and here's the picture of Lori Ann Goldman with us. And my friend Jill is the little short girl is Jill. Lori Ann is the blonde, and then I think the other lady's name is Pat, perhaps. I don't know her. Jill knew her. So that's what we were on our way over to the Riverwalk and everything. So that was neat to get to meet her. Well, then once we got over to the convention center, and we were in line to register, I believe is when I heard Tammy, if you're out there watching, Tammy, hello. I heard Tammy say my name, and she came up and got in line behind us. And this was Tammy. I got my picture taken with her. She had told me she was going to keep an eye out for me, so that was really nice to meet her. She's another Avon rep that I've talked to online before. So then we went ahead and we got registered, and after that, they gave us a bag that we were supposed to take around the Product Expo to get our free products the next day. So that was nice. And then they opened up the Avon store, which is where you could go purchase all of your like t-shirts and souvenirs, jewelry, pens, things like that. It was packed in there. It was jam-packed. And so I went in and I wanted the stuff. I knew what I wanted because I had looked I knew what I wanted. So I hurried up and I got it, and I got in line, and we had a dinner reservation for 7 o'clock. Luckily, our restaurant was right across the street, it's Mulat's, which is right across the street from the convention center. But it was like 6:15 and we were in this giant line. So we got out of line just in time. I got my t-shirts and stuff that I wanted, and we went over to have dinner at Mulat's. And this is some of the pictures that we got from there of the other reps in our area that we sat with. And that was a really nice experience, getting to sit with all the reps from our area that that had decided to have dinner with us and everything. And I got to meet a rep that I talked to online in our area. His name is Fred. He came and met us there. He got in a little bit later than everybody else, but he was able to come right at the tail end of dinner and get dessert. And I was really, really glad to meet him because I've spoken with him on Facebook and that, but never met him in person. So that was great. And then we went back to the hotel and basically just went to bed because we were exhausted. And then we got up in the morning on Friday morning, and we were having the Flawless Face certification. So I had posted this. Doing the time warp dance at 9 a.m. with 3,000 Avon ladies feels a little surreal, because while we were getting seated for the flawless face certification, they were playing like music, and they had people come, you could go up to the front and dance, and it's like 9 o'clock in the morning and they're playing the time warp, and all these Avon ladies are doing the time warp, and I'm like, this feels so strange to me. But anyways, the flawless face was really great, and I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot about our new 1.5 hyaluronic acid serum, which I've already begun using. I also learned a few other things, and I'm going to try implementing them into my skincare routine. I've decided that it came in the other day, I purchased the Hydrofusion micellar water, which I wanted no part of before, because I hate micellar waters. I don't think they're, for me personally, they don't remove my makeup. I feel like I have to tug on my face. They're just not my thing. However, I decided after the flawless face certification to start using it as a morning cleanser, so I don't have to try to remove my makeup, and it's a gentle, effective cleanser for the morning time. So yeah, that was one thing I took away from that. So that is my plan, to start using that as a morning cleanser, and I will let you know how that goes, definitely. And then that went for a couple hours, the flawless face. After it was over, we went and grabbed lunch in the food court, and then we went to general session. Now, general session on Friday was a little bit not that great. It was kind of disjointed. They didn't have their you-know-what together. A lot of times they would call people's names and the people wouldn't come up. Nobody knew where they were, what was going on. We were waiting. The camera action wasn't always following because they had jumbotrons, to see everything, and the camera action wasn't always following what the person was saying that was on the stage, and it was a little wonky, and I was kind of like, I don't know about this. You know what I mean? It just seemed like they didn't have it together, and I had expected more from Avon for that. So I wasn't too thrilled with that, but overall it was okay. And then after general session, we went to, which is where they do they do recognition for top sellers, and they talk about some of the things here and there coming up and stuff like that. So then after that evening, Friday evening, we had our beauty bash on the bayou, which if you were President's Club or above, you were invited to go to this dinner at the convention center. And then after the dinner, there was supposed to be a Mardi Gras type procession from the convention center to Mardi Gras World, where they store a lot of the floats for Mardi Gras. So you get to go inside there and look at all the floats. And then after that, there was going to be fireworks and dancing and dessert on the Mississippi River. That part was wonderful. That was great. The dinner part, or the dessert part. But before that was the dinner at the convention center for PC and above, and that, my friends, was terrible. And if you had a different experience and you thought it was great, I am super glad for you. But personally, it was terrible. And I'll tell you why. It was supposed to be for President's Club and above, and they acknowledged later in an email that came, we took a survey, and it was in the survey, they said at least 500 people that were not supposed to be there were there. They weren't really particular or careful about who they were letting in. And some people got in that weren't supposed to be. It was extremely crowded. There was not enough seating, and the food was not very good, in my opinion. It was different hors d'oeuvre stations set up along the way, and it was confusing because they didn't have like any big signs that told you. Like this side was a walking taco station. This side had shrimp cocktail. Over here, there was going to be veggies and hummus with pita bread. There was no signage, so you basically just had to get in a line, and what you ended up with was what they had. They did have an open bar. That was nice, but I don't really drink, but my friend did get me a hurricane, so I did drink one. Other than that, I drank Coca-Cola or water for the rest of the evening. But the dinner part was bad. There just was not enough seating. And with my hands, I cannot hold a plate and eat standing up. It's just really difficult. I need to be able to have a place to set my food in front of me, especially if I'm trying to hold a drink. It's impossible for me to do that. So it was very awkward and uncomfortable, and I personally did not enjoy that at all. And I know a lot of other people felt the same way as me. However, this is the first year that they've tried to do that. Prior to this, we always had our President's Club galas were on a local level. This year they tried to do it on the national level, and I understand that they have to work out some things. So We'll give them another chance. But that part wasn't good. But the dinner or the dessert portion at Mardi Gras World and that was fantastic. The dessert stations were fabulous. They had all kinds of chocolate goodies like chocolate covered marshmallows and pretzels and cookies and things like that. There was beignets. They had an open bar there. There was all kinds of pop and water, whatever you wanted. Fruit cups with cream. It was just delicious. And the music was fun and we had a great time. The fireworks were okay. It was a nice experience. The walk back to the hotel after that was a little long because by that time we were tired, but it was still good. And then Saturday we got up, and I will admit I skipped my first class Saturday morning. I was exhausted from the night before, so I did not attend that. I did attend the class that started at 11:30. I can't remember. Was that networking? I think that was networking. And I did take away some of that. The panel was other Avon reps that are, hot top sellers, top in leadership, top in sales. And I did take away and I learned some things from that. So that was really good. Also, one of the best things about RepFest too was meeting Michelle. And Michelle, I did not get your last name. So if you're out there, please leave a comment or send me a friend request on Facebook or something. I met the nicest woman, you guys. Her name was Michelle. She's from Houston, Texas. She's a representative. She watches the channel. And she was a blessing to my, I'm going to get teary-eyed. I don't mean to. So here I go again. I got teary-eyed on her while we were there. She was just a blessing to me. Meeting her was like something unexpected, and I was struggling a little bit on Saturday because I wasn't that impressed with the events on Friday, and I was missing Keith, and we have a situation going on at home with my mom, which I'll probably get into that another time, but it's just something for another day, you guys. So I was feeling like, was this worth it? Should I have come? I spent $700 on my hotel and my airfare. Is this even going to be worth it for me? And I'm away from home where I'm needed. And I was just feeling like out of my element and unsure. And enter Michelle, and she was just wonderful. And she seemed so genuinely pleased to meet me. And we actually had the time, we met Friday and Saturday both. And on Saturday, we had the time to sit down and talk. And she was going through some things too with her family, a family member who's got some health issues. And it was just a blessing. I honestly feel... I don't want to get emotional. I honestly feel like the Lord put her there for me, because she helped me so much and she made me feel that day that I was right where I needed to be. So Michelle, thank you so much. And please, please, please reach out to me. Send me a friend request on Facebook or something. So because I did not get your last name, I wrote it down somewhere. And I can't remember where I wrote it down and I can't find it. So yeah, I just would love to be able to stay in touch with you. So that was great. And then, so Saturday we had classes. Our second general session on Saturday was amazing. It was fantastic. I loved it. They were giving away all kinds of like prizes and stuff like that. And I didn't win anything, but that's okay. I was genuinely happy for the people that did. It was fantastic for them. And that's when they started making the announcements that Avon is teaming up with the Face Shop and Chi. So the president, I don't know if he's president, whatever, of LG came out and he talked to us about LG's acquisition of Avon and what it means for us. He reassured us that LG believes in the direct sales method, that they are not planning on changing that. They love direct sales in Korea, South Korea, and it's going to continue here. We are, as representatives, are not going anywhere. Don't worry about that. And then he started to talk to us about the acquisition or the implementing of the Face Shop and Chi. I was so excited because I'm very familiar with the Face Shop because of being interested in Korean beauty products. I love the Face Shop masks that I've used. And so I was instantly excited. Well, I had seen them at the Product Expo, like way in the back of the room. This was when I didn't have time to go through because it was so crowded on Friday night or Thursday night. Was it Thursday night or Friday night? Thursday night, I guess. I don't remember. I don't remember if it was Thursday night or Friday night initially, but it was so crowded I couldn't get through it. So I didn't get my free samples or anything like that, or my free products. But when I went back on Saturday, I had seen that they had, the Face Shop was back there. And I'm like, what's going on? And then he came forward and talked about that. So I was really, really, really excited. And I'm super stoked about all the products that we have coming with the Face Shop. And I'm going to do a separate video, probably, I think later, like in September sometime, about the Face Shop. And its products and the ones that Avon is going to carry through them. And, you know, and then they had somebody from Chi come and speak. The man that owns Chi, or that was the head of Chi, he spoke for a little while, and then he handed it over to his head stylist. Her name is Anna Cantu, and she does all the hair shows, and she's in charge of like PR and hair shows and stuff like that. And she did this presentation that blew my mind. It was like a combination where she did styling on 2 women of different hair types, but infused in that was like dancing and singing, and she was like, I don't know, it was just, I was enthralled with it. Every single moment of it, I was enthralled. Like, she turned doing these women's hair into a form of art. It was like amazing. I was so enthralled with it. And there was reps around me that were not thrilled. Like, there was a lady in front of me that was like complaining about it. She didn't like it. She thought it was too sexy and too weird and stuff like that. But I loved it. I just loved it. It was so fascinating. And so I'm going to search and see if I can find a video of it on YouTube. And if I can find one, I'm going to link it in the description section below so you can check it out. I don't know. I personally loved it. And Saturday's general session just was fabulous. And then after that, so after general session ended on Saturday, my friend Jill and Fred and we went to eat dinner at Malat's again, because it was so convenient being closely located. And we had a wonderful dinner, with just the 3 of us. It was so nice. I had blackened chicken Alfredo pasta, and it was delicious, and then this huge brownie. And then Fred ended up buying our dinner, which was fabulous. So thank you, Fred, if you're watching. And then Saturday night, we were supposed to do the Bourbon Street takeover, where Avon went down to Bourbon Street. Here's where I had another issue. Hold on, I'm going to take a drink. So just so you can see, not really any transfer from my lipstick, my Avon Manitude lipstick, onto my cup. All right, so then they wanted us to go down on Bourbon Street, and they wanted everybody to wear pink, and they called it the Pink Out, and they wanted everyone to wear pink and go down on Bourbon Street. And there were supposed to be drink specials or free drinks at 3 different bars on Bourbon Street: Bourbon Cowboy, The Beach, and The Swamp. Now, here's my whole problem with it, and if you disagree, that's entirely fine. But I've talked to a few reps, and I know that at least some of them share my opinion. Avon is a company for women. It is a company that wants to empower women, inspire women, motivate women. It is all about women. And why they wanted us to be down in a place that is well known for degrading women was a mystery to me. I don't get it. I like a party as well as the next person. Maybe I used to like a party more 15 years ago than I do now, but still, I understand having a good time, and I'm all about it. But Bourbon Street is not the place that I want associated with my Avon business. Do you understand what I mean? And I did not understand that. I was not happy with that. And my friend Jill and I went down. We hung out in one bar for a little while. I didn't even get a drink. Neither did she. We hung out in one bar for a little while and watched some girls ride a bull, mechanical bull, which was entertaining. I did like that. It was entertaining. And then we basically just hit some souvenir shops and went on our way back to the hotel. We did stop in at the Swamp, and there was a lot of Avon ladies in there having a good time, and I say, bless you, good for you, but it was not someplace I wanted to spend time. It was filthy. It was disgusting. I heard from another Avon rep that somebody had vomited all over the floor in the women's bathroom, and they just poured buckets of water on there to flush it out, and it's just not my thing, you know? Maybe when I was 21, but not now. And definitely not someplace I want to be, and I want people to associate me with my Avon business there. So there's that. Okay, so Saturday night, we just went back to our room after the Bourbon Street, and we bought some souvenirs, which was nice, and then we went back to the room. And then Sunday was the end of it. There was another class Sunday morning that was building your business based on yourself, like how to find strengths in yourself and what makes you you, and how to translate that over into your business. And I found that very helpful also, and enjoyed that quite a bit. And then we had closing session where they announced that RepFest would be in Austin next year, or AvonCon. And basically that was it. A little bit of recognition. We met the Avon Women of Enterprise, Dana, I want to say Daniel, but I don't know if that's right, Dana. And the Spirit of Avon Award was a woman named Charlene, which that was nice too. And then it was done at like 1:15. It was done. So after that, we went back over to the mall, and we did some shopping. I got some souvenirs over at the mall that I wanted, some pralines, and I bought myself a Coach backpack from the outlet. It wasn't bad. It's so pretty. I'll have to show it to you guys sometime. And then and the other stuff I got too, because I got a few other things there besides the Coach backpack. But and then Sunday evening we were supposed to go to the casino for dinner with a bunch of us. You guys, I was exhausted. And my legs were swollen and they hurt. So I stayed back at the hotel while my friend Jill went to the casino with our friend Fred and someone else, Steven. Hi, Steven, if you're watching. And then then I ended up that night just having hot wings and pizza at the bar. And then Monday morning, we went out for breakfast at a really, really nice restaurant called the Ruby Slipper, and I had eggs Benedict, and it was delicious with fried green tomatoes on it. It was fantastic. We shopped around the French Quarter for a little while because our flight didn't leave until 6 o'clock. So we shopped around the French Quarter for a little while and checked out of our hotel like late, and we went to the airport. And then we flew home. Now, I will say, my favorite thing about RepFest was meeting people that I loved meeting that Michelle. And I loved meeting Steven. I don't know if you're watching. And Fred. And Steven is a top seller. And I never, ever, ever in a million years would have known that this man sells 160,000 plus of Avon a year without having an LABC. He does it on his own, you know. And he is the most humble, funny, down-to-earth, regular, normal guy that you would ever want to meet, and he sells $160,000+ of Avon a year. To me, that is inspiring, and that is what I came to RepFest for, was to meet reps like that. Reps that are just like me, but are doing amazing things with their business. And so on that aspect, I feel great that I met him and some other people that I need to look at and say, what are they doing that I can do? What are they doing, you know, that can inspire and motivate me? And I definitely feel like I got that at RepFest. It was really, really nice. And it was nice. We saw Emily Seagren. So if you're an Avon rep, you probably know who Emily is. And my friend Jill went to introduce me to her. And Emily said, I know who she is. Or she said, I know you, or I know who she is. She said, I've seen your videos before. Keep up the good work. That to me was wonderful. That was a wonderful moment. Having reps shout out to me when I was walking around that they have seen me. There's the YouTube lady, you know. Hey, Ann, I've seen you before. They'd ask about Keith. Is Keith here with you? You know, that kind of stuff was wonderful. And it tickled me and just made me so happy. And I would call Keith or I'd text him and I'd be like, somebody recognized me. I got a shout out. Someone asked about you. You know, that was great. So definitely in that aspect, I really am glad that I went to RepFest. And I think that there were things that I could take away from it that will stick with me. Some things I've already started implementing with my social media and just in general, trying to be more interactive with people than I already am. I can always do that. I can always be kinder. I can always be more thoughtful. I can always be just a better person. I can always try to make my business be as personal as possible with you guys, because even though you shop with me online, we still have a relationship. And even though I haven't met you before, we still have a relationship, and it is up to me to cultivate that more. You're not just an email that shows up in my inbox that says you have a new direct delivery order. I want to have more of a relationship with my customers. And so that is something that I'm working on. And I've already started, you know, trying to work on that and everything. So I do feel like I got a lot out of RepFest. I do feel like there was a lot of things that I didn't really like about it, that I thought they could have done a better job. But I have heard from other reps that of all the RepFests they've attended, that this one was the least satisfying. Quite a few people have told me. In fact, one rep, and I will not say who she was, she said it sucked. In comparison with the one in Columbus and Nashville. So I just, you know, there were parts about it that were really good, and then there were parts about it that I was like, I wasn't that impressed with. But overall, it was up to me to take something out of the experience, and I think I'm trying to do that, and I think I am doing that, because I am a firm believer that you bloom where you are planted. And I was planted in New Orleans that weekend to to learn and to grow, and dang it, I was going to make sure that happened. You know, I paid $700 to get there, and I was not going to waste that. So definitely, you know, I think in that way I did learn, and I kept myself open, and I didn't let my negative feelings about the dinner on Friday night or the mistakes and glitches in general session on Friday, I didn't let those things ruin my time. I didn't let them cloud over what I was there to do, which was to learn, to grow, to get motivated, and to be inspired, to better my business for all of you and myself. So yeah, I think I covered everything. If I left anything out, maybe I'll do a part 2, but feel free to ask me any questions about it that you guys want to, and I will absolutely answer you. Yeah, it was just, overall, it was a good experience, and I'm glad I went. I was glad to get home, though, really quick, because I know that my camera's going to shut off. So all weekend, I was running behind everybody with my arthritis. You know what I mean? I'm slower than everybody else. Well, we got to the airport on the way home, and when we got off that plane, Fred and Jill were cracking up at me because I got off that plane, and I was like a shot. I mean, I was hauling butt, because Keith was waiting for me down there, and Fred said, it's like someone's dangling a carrot in front of her, like her husband's a carrot, you know, that's getting dangled. That's how I felt. I was like, I can't wait to see him, and I was going in the wrong direction. I just got off the plane, and I just went willy-nilly to the left, and I was supposed to go to the right because baggage was the opposite way. I got all the way down to the end of the wrong dang terminal, like to the end of the terminal, and I had to turn around and come back. So that's how, I mean, I was like, my feet were swollen so huge, and I was like, Keith. Okay, my camera's going to shut off at 32, so I got to go. I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Question or comment below, and I'll see you in the next one.